The Air Dribble. A technique when mastered that can be utilized to manipulate the ball at will so that the player behind the wheel can place the ball wherever they desire into the net, making it nearly impossible to be saved by the average defender. Plus, your friends and random teammates will think you're the bee's knees, or whatever kids are saying these days. But in order to make this possible, I performed 1,000 air dribbles every day for 15 days straight, and I'm going to teach you everything I learned throughout the process so that you can efficiently perfect air dribbling for yourself. And I wanted to say thank you for all the support. We've reached over 300 subscribers and it means the world. So if you're enjoying the content and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that red button so you won't miss out on more content like this. I'm going to go over the basics first, but make sure you stick around to learn how to truly master the air dribble and implement it into your gameplay. The wall to air dribble. To make your ability to air dribble easier, you need to have a good setup. So make sure you have the ball rolling towards the wall and you're going at a similar speed. Any bounces will make it inconsistent and more difficult to start and complete an air dribble unless you are at an advanced level. Once the ball is rolling up the wall, you want to wait until it has passed the curve to make contact, otherwise it will stay too close to the wall and you won't have much room to catch the ball and move it in the direction of the net. The closer you are to the goal, the more straight up and down you want your car to be positioned. And as you progress further away from the net and across the half and beyond, you want to gradually position your car at more of an angle as you approach to make contact. This way the ball is always being set up in a position that is directed towards the net for the easiest route of your air dribble. Once the ball is in the air, you need to jump off the wall and use air roll to line your car up with the ball for a clean catch. Some people jump off directly after and some delay their jump for a second. I personally prefer to jump off directly after because your car should initially be in a good position if you followed all of the tips for an easier catch. But find a preference for whichever you feel more comfortable with. Now that you are off the wall and approaching the ball, you want to get to the ball and try to go the same speed as it so you can catch it softly. This will make sure the ball doesn't bounce off and away because you were going too fast. To carry the ball to the net, make sure your nose is positioned on the bottom portion of the ball. This is so you can propel the ball upwards and keep it in the air for the time necessary to get to the net. Otherwise, it will start falling and you will lose the ability to carry it for far. In order to practice keeping it up high, you should simply practice trying to air dribble as close as you can to the ceiling and into the backboard without even worrying about the net. This will give you more control over keeping the ball up when you desire, just through a little bit of practice. Now that you can keep the ball up, you probably want to control it and drive it straight into those upper V's or wherever the opponent is not. This is going to take some micro adjustments from your air roll button to change the direction from left to right and can only be improved with practice. This training pack by Iowa is what got me started with air dribbles, and it's extremely helpful and can be used from beginner to advanced in improving your skill. There are options from close to further away and even in the corners so that you can focus on controlling and moving the ball in different directions to perfect your air dribble. In a game, you aren't going to have these perfect setups though as often, so once you feel comfortable, you should go into free play and practice hitting the ball towards the wall yourself so that you can learn to set yourself up in an endless amount of scenarios so that it's more natural in game. The best part about air dribbles is that they can be extremely helpful for more than just shooting. You can use them to pass the ball directly to your teammate and go for a cool little pinch or passing play. Or a more practical and useful benefit is for clears off your backboard. You can use the air dribble to fly the ball out of your half of the field from your backboard and into an attacking position for your team and can often catch the opponent off guard. After you are able to achieve straightforward air dribbles, work on using an air roll of your choice to constantly have the option of controlling and pushing the ball whichever way you desire and confusing your opponent since they won't have an obvious visual of which way you are going. This is simply going to take a lot of time and practice with air dribbling, but I believe in you. So maybe hop into some casual ones or twos so that you can get some in-game experiences to really hammer in this technique. Now that you have all this down, you are ready to master the air dribble, and for some examples, I'm going to go through the wall to air dribbles in Iowa's training pack that I provided below so you can have some examples of how to perform them if you are a visual learner who desires something to look at. Although a bounce to air dribble, this one is super beneficial to practicing staying underneath the ball to keep it up. The second is the same thing but for good consistency since it is a longer duration. A solid close to net, so be more upright and practice rotations depending on level, but go for the upper bar to the net or upper V's if you can. This one is subtle, but slightly bouncing, so I find jumping off instantly on contact helpful to stay with the ball for a more efficient path. This one is further back, so remember to hit the ball at more of an angle and don't forget to catch it softly. This is the same thing but the other side. You don't want to forget to practice both sides for air dribbles, else one might become more difficult to accomplish. This is a more difficult one in the corner that bounces off, so you have to jump off to make that first touch. This one is slightly easier since it is rolling, but good for aerial practice since you have to rotate your car around just to be able to score it into the net. Hope this all helps, and thank you for watching, and remember to hit that like button and comment if you enjoyed. It will help plug this video in the algorithm and get it out to those who may be looking for a new air dribbling tutorial. See you in the next video. Peace.